training in your presence. As a steadfast contestant, apart from practicing my speeches 1,000 times, okay, that's an exaggeration, studying the competing contestants, most of them are in this room, the logistics, etc. I have always wondered what it is like for the judges sitting on the other side judging me. Because I believe I could give my 100%. But yet, my fate lies in their hands. So the responsibility of the judges is far more important, bearing weight of the core values of Toastmasters International and sound judgment. Leaders of District 20 gauged this importance and thus called upon experienced trainers in the field to conduct this training, which will benefit both judges and contestants. Now, you will definitely have questions for our trainers. Feel free to post them in the chat, and these will be taken up during the question and answer session. Coming up first to conduct the judges training is Toastmaster Farooq Khader, the Division C Director and President of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. He has been the recipient of Triple Crown at District 20 and District 56. With a round of applause, please welcome Toastmaster Farooq Khader.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, for that wonderful introduction. And fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, good morning to all of you. Are you awake? Can you see the Master of Ceremonies? Can you see that all of us are attentive, focused? That is because we are all potential judges. And that's what we do in the meeting. We have to be attentive. And one of the things, let me tell you, Master of Ceremonies, this is the only occasion that you and other contestants will see, are able to see the judges physically or on camera. Otherwise, we remain anonymous and unloved. So one of the things that before we start the meeting, I would like you to do is take this opportunity, and I would like to ask our IT moderator to take a simple poll. How many of you are attending this judges training for the first time? Okay. I see some hand raised, but we have some of the, which is good, So that means we have still some people, district director, who are yet to be abused. So, and how many of you have played a voting judge at a club or area level? Excellent. So these are the usual suspects. Please take a note of them, and you know who to call when you need them. Thank you, everybody. So anyway, our IT moderator, I think, will also set up a poll ready, or so that we can have the answers for that one, and we really get the statistics as we require. So don't bother about that. Okay. So let me talk about today's session, which is on the judges training. We'll be going to certain things that we in the slide that will just short list or determine what we are really, what judging is all about and what is required. So we have a tight-packed agenda. We'll talk about contest functionaries, the purpose of the contest, the obligation of a judge, judging versus evaluation, quality of judge, good judge, eligibility of judges, voting judges requirements, barriers, conceptions, art of judging, judging guide, and ballots and Protestant disqualifications. Huge agenda? Yes, but that is what we have to as judges. But we as judges are able to condense this and make our learning very short. And this is what we face as judges. When we go to a contest, we have to sit down for hours at end sometimes and we still remain objective. And this is a function. So, but this training that we are going to undergo is going to be brief and precise on set of actions, because I'm not going to go around and tell you about all the details. The details are already there by Toastmasters in their manuals and handbooks, which are available to all, and you can take advantage of them. It's just a matter of refreshing yourself. There are multiple contest functionalities, as you all know, and the number and the qualifications for each of them at each level of contest is determined by Toastmasters International in the speech contest rulebook. Like who can be a judge, at what level, the criteria differs, and we'll discuss about that. But all of these role players are the most important. The most important one are the contestants that we have to take care of as judges. And this comes to our next slide. What is the purpose of the speech contest? It is really to provide an opportunity to the contestants or the Toastmasters to gain a speaking experience, and also provide an opportunity for other Toastmasters to learn by observing these proficient speakers. We can have different types of speech contests. As per Toastmasters, we are required, all of the clubs and every level are supposed to have an international speech contest in English. But additionally, they can also choose up to 4 different contests. So they can choose an evaluation contest, humorous contest, table topics, and tall tales. So either 3 of these additional 4 categories. And additionally, the district can also host, up to the district level, can hold additionally 4 different non-English language contests. So these are the type of contests that are typically held in Toastmasters. And each of them have their own criteria and judges. We'll come to that when we come later to that side. Now, the obligation of the judge. The utmost or the most important obligation of the judge is to the contestants, because the contestants' future and how they progress is dependent on you. And to the Toastmasters International, because you are their representative, you are upholding their values, ideas, and you have to demonstrate that in the course of the session. The audience. Why? Because the audience comes to here to expect a fair and a quality contest, and we are responsible for that. And as our CGD rightly said, it's also a forum where we can invite guests and show them what Toastmasters can do for them. And we get new members. And finally, to yourself, because at the end of the day, it's your own ethics and integrity that matters, that you are the owner of that. And you have to ensure that you have fulfilled the obligation or the trust of the judge that has been entrusted to you. Now, judging is different from evaluation. I think most of us know that. In evaluation, we are trying to, appraise the speech, give feedback on how to improve it. In judging, we don't. We are actually asked to just rate the speaker as it is and pick who is the best as per the strict criteria that has been set in the ballot form. That is, we are supposed to wear blinders, and that is what is required as judges to do. Now, what are the qualities of a good judge? You have to be accurate, naturally. You have to make it dedicated and ensure that what you have measuring is accurate as per the criteria required. Fair. You have to be complete. This is one of the most important criteria. And again, sometimes we have our own prejudices and bias. We have to set all of them aside. You may think that you may have a speaker may talk about something that you don't feel comfortable about, or maybe your region or district says it's not allowed, but you are not supposed, during a contest, you are not supposed to judge on that. All of these biases have to be left aside, and you have to be completely fair, because Toastmasters International allows you to speak on any topic. You have to be trustworthy, even though you are anonymous, but you know yourself. You have to understand that not only the contestants, everybody, contest officials and the Toastmasters International and the whole community is depending on you to be trustworthy and as fair as possible. Knowledgeable. There's a lot of reading to be done. And Toastmasters are not new to that. Even every time we do a project, we learn, we read, we try to learn. That is what you need to do. You have to be a good listener. Yes. Throughout the whole contest, you have to be a good listener all the time. You cannot spend your time and say, get influenced by the speech and go ahead and you're daydreaming or something. You cannot be distracted. You have to ensure that you have a place where you can really give the speech as best as possible during the time that you have and judge them properly. You have to be attentive. This is the most important thing. You listen, but and be very careful about that. Now, what are the eligibility for being a judge? There are two criteria. We'll just only discuss the criteria till the district level, although there are certain other additional criteria to the region and even the international convention. But the most easiest at a club contest. So with the upcoming club contest, don't worry, it could be any paid member can be a judge. That's the minimum. That's the only requirement at a club contest. Anybody who's a paid member, even if they joined 1 month before. But again, this is a criteria that this TI has put for some types of the new clubs that or in an area or in a district where they don't have much support. But again, for a mature district like us, we recommend you to have a stricter criteria. But again, it's not a requirement. But at an area, a division, and district contest, a judge must have been a member for 6 months and must have at least completed 6 speech projects in the Computer and Communication Manual if they had joined before the pathways. Or they must have, if they joined after the introduction of the pathways, they must have completed level 1 and level 2 of any path in the pathways program. These are the minimum criteria that is required for the area division district contest. There are additional criteria which we'll discuss later about that, like who can be judged for which type of contest, what are the member criteria and everything. We'll do now. You're not eligible to judge. We now got the eligibility. What makes you ineligible is that if you are a candidate for elected district leader position for the term beginning the subsequent July 1, have you declared an intention to be an area district leader, then you are ineligible to serve beyond the club level. And if you are planning to contest beyond the club level in any district in that same type of contest, then you are not eligible to judge in that contest type. So if you are planning to contest in humorous contest in some other district even, you cannot judge a humorous contest at this area division and district level. Now for division and district contest, this becomes more stricter now. The judge must not be a member of any club in which a contestant is a member. So this has to be carefully judged, and you have to recuse yourself if you find out one of the contestants is a member in one of your other clubs, because this is important for judges who are sometimes members of multiple clubs. So be careful about this, and if you find this, notice this, please bring it to the attention of the chief judge and recuse yourself. Now, how many voting judges are required? We are talking about here minimum. So at the club contest, 5 voting judges are required. Area contest, it could be an equal number of judges from each club, or a minimum of 5 voting judges is required. But if you have 4 clubs, then you might need additional members if you are trying to take it from the club. So this is a criteria that you have to get. But it's always recommended that you take the judges from as much as possible from the different areas or different divisions, or even districts if possible. Now at division and district level, the number of voting judges increases, the minimum number, 7 voting judges. But it is always note that a good chief judge which always have additional judges available to them as backup, and they will keep that as in case of any mishap that happens or any discrepancy that will happen, they will cover that up. Now, judges also face a barrier to objectivity. You are supposed to be objective in your results, but there are certain things that make here cover to. So there are 7 things that TI has highlighted that, but I'll just go through them briefly. One of them is speaker position. People always tend to remember the first and last, but this is where you have to be very careful about and do not let it influence you. So that's why attentiveness is very important. Then sometimes people become a champion for the underdog. Some people come up with some handicap or some special needs, or they may say that I have faced some issue in my life, and they're upfront about it. And they say, I have some issue and still I'm giving a speech. And they try to influence you to make you partial about this. Although it is a human emotion, but as a judges, you have to be ignoring that. You cannot be a champion for the underdog. You have to judge everybody at their own qualification at that time that they presented. The halo effect. Sometimes you always believe that a person is good because of certain reasons. Oh, they dress well. Oh, they look humorous. They have a good smile on their face. They're optimistic. You become favorable to them. After all, who doesn't get influenced by a smile? But that is something that as judges, we should not be influenced by. And that is why it's difficult that as a judge, you have to be very impartial about and have your blinders on a lot of factors that can influence you in a regular judge meeting. Okay. Sorry. Then there's a reverse halo effect. While you have the halo effect, which works in favor of the contestants, there's a reverse halo effect where we can work against the contestants. We may not like something, or we are prejudiced because of certain things that we know the feel is there in the contest unfavorable. We should not let any one thing influence the other. Everything should be judged by their own category and boxes. Another thing is the second time around, which the thing, you may have seen a person who give a good speech in an earlier case, and you think that the person will, even if they didn't give a good speech in the second case, you'll say, oh, something did happen, but I know the potential of this candidate. Let's judge favorably into them. Do not let that influence you. You are actually gonna judge them on that context. So every time you hear a speaker, you have to imagine that you're hearing that speaker for the first time and try to be as impartial and objective as possible. Social behaviors, not the norm. Okay, we believe that Toastmasters need to have a tie, need to be in a suit. No, there's no such requirement. You're not there to judge on the appearance. Only you judge on the appearance if it's suitable to the speech. Okay, you cannot expect a person talking about going to having a holiday on the beach and say wearing a suit on the talking about trip to a sandy beach. No, you cannot do that. So you have to be a little bit open about what you see is different from your common norms or common expectations. Personal likes and prejudice. This says that, oh, if you're judging an international speech, I have seen somebody saying, oh, it was too humorous. This is not really an international speech. No, you're not supposed to do that. You have to judge a speech on its content. These are not the things you may like or dislike, but you have to set aside all your prejudices and likes again and judge fairly as much as possible, as per the ballot criteria. That is one of the most important things. Again, there are many misconceptions that we really talked about. Like, again, as I said before, can a contestant use humor in contest? Yes. In an international speech contest? Yes. Should international speech contest be motivational or inspirational? No, don't need. As long as they're entertaining and meet the objectives. You're not supposed to judge on what that speech type is. You're supposed to judge on the content of the speech and the presentation of that speech, how it was presented, as per the criteria that is given in the poll. Now, the art of judging, or let me say the art and science of judging. The purpose of judging of any contest is to pick winners. We are judging because we want to pick winners. And we use the ballot to select the winners 1, 2, 3. And the ballot has, if you look at the ballot sheet, it has a certain section which is evaluation, and there's a bottom section where you give the results. All this information is supposed to be confidential. Well, some people return the ballots. Okay, make sure that you're only returning the bottom portion of the ballot, which is the results. How you did your evaluation is nobody's concern. It is confidential, and how you did the evaluation, how you ranked them, because people have different methods of how do they rank people. Some people give high marks for everything, some people give lower marks, but the most important thing is the final total and how they select and finalize the winners. That is the most important criteria for us. Then, one of the things that is very important for judges, or it's a very strong recommendation, is although you're always using the ballot, we always recommend that you always take notes, have a sheet of paper and take notes while giving the ballot, while filling up the ballot, while listening to the speech. The reason for that is because that ensures that you're really listening and focusing on the speech and not focus on the numbering or the grading scale. The grading comes a little later. And that's why after each speech, the judges are given 1 to 2 minutes to actually put the grades down. That is when you put the grades. And when you put the grades down and the ranking and the points as per the ballot paper, you have to also ensure that you do not have any ties. It is not recommended to have any ties. You need to break your tie. And when you need to break your tie, your notes will come back and help you make the fine judgment on how to rank the contestants who are tied together. This is an example of the judges' ballot for an international speech contest. It has 3 categories: content, delivery, and language. We'll go briefly over those categories. For the content, which is about 50% of the whole speech, international speech part, we have speech development, we have effectiveness, and speech value. We have 3 subcategories to that. And if you look at this, it causes subject achievement of purpose. The structure should be defined properly. The purpose clear and defined. Support material, ideas and thought. Nowhere does it say that it has to be serious or humorous. There's no criteria for that. So this is something that you have to remove from your misconceptions if you have any. Then, again, if you look at the different contests, like in the international speech, again, contest is always king. It's 50% international speech, 55% in humorous speech, and 55% in table topics. That's the percentage of the importance of the content that we have in a speech. And this is where you need to especially focus on. And this is where you can usually break the ties if any of these things are there, if you look at certain values. Then the other contest judging criteria is speech delivery. This is about 30% to the speaker. So it calls about appearance, body language, and speaking area. How well the area is used. How well have they used the speaking? You are not supposed to worry about how the speaking area is looking, but because that is the responsibility of the contest chair, but you have to check how the area has been used. That is your responsibility. Voice flexibility. Again, you see you have good quality modulation and everything, but does not concern accent. Okay, so some people try to measure and say, I could not understand the accent. The accent is different. No, that's not your concern. The most important thing is how is importantly or clearly the words were pronounced and how they were modulated, how they were made effective, and the manner in which it was presented. Okay, so in international speech contest, again, you see an international humorous table talk, 30% is devoted to delivery. Then we have language, which constitutes 15%. Appropriateness. Some of us may feel that, oh, somebody used some words which are not appropriate. Okay. No, it does not mean appropriate to your prejudices or bias. What we are trying to judge is appropriateness to the speech. If it is appropriate to the speech, it's all right. So again, you have to be a bit careful how we measure appropriateness. I have seen judges sometimes differ in the meaning of appropriateness. It's the appropriateness to the speech, not appropriateness to your culture, your bias, your perception. Correctness, again, you see pronunciation and word selection is the most important thing. There's no such thing on accent. So that is something you have to be very clear about when you are doing the judging. And this is where the language is there. So you see international speech is 20%, numerical speech is 15%, table topics 15%. Then the evaluations are a little different because they are focused on analytical quality, where we have analytical quality is actually 40% and recommendations are 30%. These are considered the bulk of the weight of the evaluation contest. So what do we mean by analytical quality? Do they refer to the effectiveness of the evaluation? Did the evaluator identify specific strengths and weaknesses of the presentation? Have they done that properly? That is the most important thing. Then the 30 points is, if you do this part right, then you can come to the 30 points easily, which is, once they identify their strength and weakness, did the recommendations they give are practical, helpful, and positive? And the most important thing, if you note here, is positive. And they should enable the speaker to improve their next presentation. You are supposed to be positive in that evaluation. Technique and summation. Now, some judges are taught to believe that summation is the most important criteria. It is important, but if you look in the judges' ballot, it's only 15 points. The most focus that you have to focus on is analytical quality. If somebody forgets to do the summation, you do not let this subcategory affect the other category. Each of them, as I said before, as a judge, you have to evaluate them in the boxes. So you have to wear a blinder and keep yourself in the box that you are evaluating at that time and judge accordingly. And this is the judges' ballot, which is the bottom section. This is what not typically most of the voting judges will receive. You have a first place, second place, third place. So it's very important that your name and signature should be there. And if there's any inconsistency or any mistakes or something is missing, they will be marked void or invalid by the chief judge. So be very careful about the names put, because sometimes what happens is, in our district, sometimes I have seen people with similar names coming around, both of two contestants having the same first name, and people get confused about it. Be very clear about which contestant you are referring to and have their complete name as much as possible. And they will be shared by you. Now, there's another ballot that comes here. This is the ballot where the judge has to rank all the contestants. But this is only for the tie-breaking judge. Now, if you as a simple voting judge get this form sent to you by the chief judge, please inform the chief judge and say, this is not the form for me. You are only supposed to, as a normal voting judge, you are supposed to only have this form with the first race and the second place and the third place winners from your evaluation, from your judgment, sorry. It's only the tiebreaker judge who will have the authority to name all the contestants. And again, they must break all their ties, and it will be shared only with the chief judge. That is what is supposed to be shared, only with the chief judge. Okay. Now, let's come to the other part, which is the protest and disqualification. Now, protests are limited. You cannot protest on everything. Protests are limited to eligibility, originality, and referencing to another contestant or the contestant's speech at the same contest. If you have a contestant in the same speech at the same moment that you are doing at the time, you cannot reference back to that contestant. And who can protest? The protest must only be lodged by voting judges and not contestants. Any protest must be lodged with the chief judge or the contest chair prior to the contest being adjourned. And this is again very important. And again, this is one of the things. As voting judges, you are authorized to make a protest. All right? Lodge a protest for that. And this is why we have to be very attentive and very careful about that. And again, note that this is a trust that has been exposed to you by the community, and you have to be careful about that. And most of these contests are now typically recorded, so everything is there for the record. If you want, you can go back and check. So you have to be very attentive that for regarding originality and referencing to another contestant or a contested speech in the same contest. Now, when something happens, the chief judge will bring this notice will discuss with the voting judges, and the majority of the voting judges must concur. They will discuss among themselves. They will have a breakout room, and they will discuss among themselves and say, is this protest law that was lodged valid? Do we agree on that? Should we protest to disqualify on the contestant? And the contestant must also be given a chance to explain themselves to the voting judges as in if required, unless if it is very clear. So additionally, while the voting judges will disqualify on the basis of originality, it is only the contest chair who can disqualify a contestant on the basis of eligibility. So that is the eligibility requirement is not your concern as a voting judge. That is the contest chair's responsibility. So we have to be clear and focused. We already have a lot of things to do as judges. So let's not try to take additional responsibilities that are not needed for us. Now, we have a multiple resources, which is the speech contest rule book, the judges certification. These are all the reading materials that we have to go through. And these are available on Toastmasters International website. And also, we will be sharing this in the chat window for all of the contestants, for all of the attendees today, so that they can reference back to them as required. One of the important things that I will always recommend is that always go to the website and make sure that you are referencing to the latest manual. So you have certain dates here, but sometimes these dates are updated. So you always have to, just before the contest, always go back to the TI website frequently and refer back and say what those rules, if there's any updated form, then use those updated resources for your recommendation. Now, do you think with this brief, are you ready? Are you eligible to judge the speech contest? I want to hear a positive answer. Are you ready? You feel you are ready? Yes. With this, again, let me ask our IT moderator if they want to launch the poll again. If they have not done so for the initial contest, they can lodge it. Okay, and we'll share the IT moderator. Do you want to launch the poll? Okay, I think the poll will come at its time. So with that, again, we'll have a question answer session. I know you have a lot of questions. If you wait for that, we can have that later. And with this, back to you, Master of Ceremonies, and I'm here for any questions later. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our trainer, Toastmaster Farooq Khadir, for taking us through this journey of understanding what it takes to be a judge at a Toastmasters contest. I'm sure by now we have learned a little about how we should judge while judging a contest. As a contestant, I have also learned how I will be judged. As a judge, I now know how to judge a contest. And I'm sure you all will agree with this. Nobody's agreeing with me? Thank you. Well, now that we know how to be judges, who would like to govern or preside over a contest. I mean, who would like to be chief judge? I'm sure some of you have already been chief judge, but this question goes to those who would love to take up this role of chief judge. Any hands going up? Nobody wants to be chief judge? We need new members to take up these roles. Come on, put your hands up. Okay, maybe after this session, you would be interested because you would be then knowledgeable about how to take up this role, how to do this role. So thanks to all those who have put their hands up. Please note judges, chief judges who have already been chief judges, members who have already been chief judges, please note the hands that have gone up because you need to approach these new members who wish to be chief judges. As already informed to us by our District 20 Director, get new members, make new leaders. So to do the chief judge role, you need to get it right because it is an incredibly significant role, which now calls for distinguished Toastmaster Alka Kumra to conduct today's Chief Judge's training. Why distinguished Toastmaster Alka? Because she has been a Chief Judge at a number of contests in District 20 and outside District 20. And thus, she brings with her to the table her experience and learnings. Let me tell you, she has an eye for details and she goes by the books. Now, she has been the past District 20 Club Growth Director, TLI Chair, and the District Admin Manager. And along with that, she has taken up division, area, and other club leadership roles. She has, to her credit, again, 2 distinguished Toastmaster titles. Her passion for Toastmasters has driven her to charter many Toastmaster and gavel clubs, organize and conduct workshops for Toastmasters like this one, conduct open houses, speechcraft, and youth leadership programs. She's a member of 3 prominent clubs, and she seeks the opportunity to rise by lifting others. With a huge round of applause, please welcome our next trainer, distinguished Toastmaster Alka Kumra. Toastmaster Alka, Toastmaster Alka, I'll just like to check with our timer who has raised her hand. Timer 2, do you have an issue? Okay, there is no issue. Distinguished Toastmaster Alka, the stage is yours.
Thank you, wonderful Master of Ceremonies, for the day. Good morning, distinguished leaders of District 20 present in the audience tonight, today, this morning. We are confused between nights and mornings these days, right? But yes, this has been a bright sunny morning today and great to see all smiling faces today in the Toastmasters who are present in this gathering. So we heard a wonderful judges training from Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. I'm sure many of you are now willing to be judges. So whoever wants to be a chief judge won't have any problems now. The judges are already ready, right? I could see very few hands when Priscilla asked who would like to be chief judges. Yes, we have a lot of problem when we are looking for chief judges. And that's why we hear people saying, oh, I was chief judge for 20 contests this year. And then clubs are actually struggling to find a chief judge because they think they have a lot of notions who should be a chief judge and who should not be. I remember once when I was the president of my club, I spoke to the VP Education and I said, let's have this person as the chief judge. And he said, no, but he's not a DTM. Well, let me assure you, that's not an eligibility to be a chief judge. The only eligibility to be a chief judge, more than anything, there are a couple of more, but more than anything else is that you should have attended a chief judge and judges training. There used to be a time when we used to take only people who had attended the training that year or the previous year. It used to be a rule, but somewhere along the line, because of the shortage of judges and all, we have somewhere lost that. I hope we can get it back again, that only who have attended this training should be taken as chief judges or judges. Well, how many of you have been chief judges before? Great to see a few hands. Only a few. Yes, only a few. And I can see they are all, most of them are officials, either district, division, area officials. So that is also not an eligibility, that they need to be an area director or a division director. No, that is not the eligibility of a chief judge. So let us now see what should be the eligibility of a chief judge and what is the role and what are the responsibilities. So let me share my screen. Please allow me to share the screen, moderator. Thank you. So as chief judges, what should you be doing? I think when you have been a judge, you have seen what Toastmaster Ghulam explained about the role of a judge. All that applies to a chief judge as well. So once you have been ethical, once you have gone through the process of being a judge, only then becoming a chief judge is really fruitful. Without being a judge, you should never become a chief judge, even though you are eligible. Because the training that you get as a judge, the experience that you get as a judge is what would lead you to become a great chief judge. So this is what we are going to discuss today. First of all, let's see the eligibility. Should be a paid member, of course, at least for 6 months. Should have completed at least 6 speech projects. This used to be the old manual, but in the new pathways, at least completed 2 levels of 1 path. Should have been trained as a contest judge with a judging experience, exactly the things that I have just explained. Should have been trained as a chief judge and have attended at least 1 such workshop. Now, you cannot be a chief judge if you are going to run for an elected district position during the next term. Suppose we are now in 2022-23, and you have already expressed your interest to run for a district official position for 23-24 from 1st July. You should not be a chief judge during 22-23. And if you are judging at the same contest type in which you have been competing or you would compete beyond club level in any district. Now, please note this, in any district. Earlier, that was not a requirement. But now with the online contests, in any district, if you are going to contest beyond club level, you should not be a judge or a chief judge. And you should not be a member of any club in which any of the contestants in that particular contest are there. Now, what is your duty as a chief judge? Of course, this is with any role. You should be there at least 15-20 minutes, half an hour before the contest. You should meet the contest chair and ensure that everything is arranged well. The contestants are going to be there. The venue is ready. And the speaking area should be defined, and it should be very, very clear to the contestants as well as to the judges. You should collect the speaker's eligibility and originality forms from the contest chair before the contest starts. There should be a judge's briefing. Of course, nowadays we are doing it online, and even if the contest is physical, the chief judge is allowed to have a briefing online before the contest. Anytime before the contest, maybe a day earlier or the same day, but it should be done before the contest. What should be in the briefing? It should be, first of all, everything that is mentioned in the certification of eligibility and code of ethics for the judges, which is shared on the screen and which will also be shared by a head of education in the chat. So as a judge, we already saw what all should be the eligibility. So that the chief judge needs to ensure and again brief the judges, things like not to consider timing in their judging, during their judging, and what should be the responsibilities of a tie-breaking judge, how the ballots will be collected from the judges. All those things should be briefed to the judges. Now this is pre-contest judges briefing. What I already mentioned, they should either be in a separate room or online in a breakout room, or it could be a separate meeting for judges, an online meeting for the judges alone. So why it should be in a separate room? So that the anonymity of the judges can be maintained. The other role players should not, other role players or contestants or anyone should not be aware who are the judges. In physical contests, it is sometimes difficult because they have those blue folders, the judges folders with them, and it's very easy to identify who are the judges. Yet the judges should try to maintain the anonymity. So the judges' eligibility is read and the code of ethics is signed by them, and the chief judge collects that. The meeting agenda, list of contestants, and the latest speech contest rule book, and the latest guide and the ballot, the latest eligibility forms are distributed to the judges. That needs to be ensured by the chief judge. Well, we already heard in the judges training that during the speech, the judges should be making only notes, not writing on the ballots, so as to give full focus to the speech. Yes, we get only 2 minutes at the end to collate the results. Yet, it's very important that during the speech, we should not be using the ballots. So this is a part of briefing that the chief judge will give to the judges. So not to consider timing and to break their own ties. So sometimes the judges are not able to distinguish who should be second and who should be third, or who should be first and who should be second. There is a very small margin as per their calculations. And I have seen judges sending ballots with saying, first this or this contestant. No, that is not how the ballot should be sent, should be finalized and sent to chief judge. It should have clear first, second, and third. If there is a tie, you break your own tie and send only clear first, second, and third names. To write winners' full names, and most important, if the judge's ballot is not signed, it's considered ineligible to be included in the judges list. So you have to sign your ballot. In online contests, many times I have come across judges who would say, I don't have arrangement to scan. So can I write on a piece of paper? By all means, you can write on a piece of paper, but just write your name, your signature, write who will be the first, full name, second, third, full names, and then you take a picture and send to the ballot counters. So you, as for the tie-breaking judge, you need to be very confidential. The chief judge needs to not disclose who would be the tie-breaking judge, even to other judges or to timers or to ballot counters. No one is supposed to know who is the tie-breaking judge, and as such, the ballot of tie-breaking judge is collected by the chief judge himself or herself. So they also have to sign and write their name. They have to, as a tie-breaking judge, if you look at the ballot, tie-breaking ballot, it will be shown to you in a minute. So if you see, you have to, as tie-breaking judge, you don't have to write only first, second, and third. You have to write for all the contestants who gave the speech that day. You have to write who will be first till 7th, 8th, 9th, however the number of contestants. You have to write for all of them. Who will be 6th as per you? Who will be 7th as per you? Because that is the purpose of tie-breaking. And of course, for all the judges, they have to send only the bottom part of the ballot, not how you arrived at your first, second. That is immaterial to the chief judge. So only what is relevant is the bottom part of the ballot, where you say first, second, third, or beyond that. And yes, we need to maintain the confidentiality and anonymity. Timer briefing, that's very, very crucial for a chief judge. Now, what is the role of a timer? Usually we say there should be 2 timers. So one timer will do the timing, show the cards, the other timer will maintain the sheet, writing the timing in minutes and seconds. Now here we need to be very clear to the timers that they should not consider seconds, the fractions of seconds during their timing. For example, if someone has spoken for 4 minutes and 29 seconds, but it has been a little while that 29 seconds came up, yet when he finished the speech, it was not yet 4.5 minutes. So the timer should not write 4 minutes and 30 seconds till 30 seconds are over. If the speech is getting over at still, and your clock is still showing 29, you have to write 4:29. Same way for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. If it has crossed 7:30, but not yet 31, it will be shown as 7:30 only. Right? So this is something that we need to brief the timers. And at the end, the timing sheet will be given to the chief judge, and chief judge will, while collation of the results, will let the ballot counters know who is qualified and who is disqualified. So we already said that we need to check, the chief judge also needs to check that the timing signal device is operating well. And if it's online contest, then see who the first timer's video is on and the second timer's video is a backup. Now also discuss the minute of silence for marking the judges' ballots. Show them how to fill up the timer form and instruction on when to start the timing and when to end, and to mark who is not qualified or overtime, and then give the sheet to the chief judge. They should sign their timer sheet, even though on the timing sheet there is no column for signatures, yet the timers should sign it and give it. the target speaker's timing should also be the same, and that should be considered by the timers and mentioned on the sheet separately. Now, what should be the ballot counters briefing? Now, ballot counters, while they will be collating the results independently, yet they will be supervised by the chief judge. Chief judge cannot just leave them and just depend on what the ballot counters have said. They need to supervise and also check how the ballot counters have arrived at the results. So they need to be briefed on how they should collect ballots from the judges when the contest chair has announces when the last speaker has spoken. Contest chair usually says, now I would request the ballot counters to please collect the ballots from the judges. That's when they should go and collect. And then they go to a separate room for counting of the ballots along with the chief judge. It's mentioned on the ballot sheet that the first place winner will get 3 points, second place gets 2 points, and third place gets 1 point. So we need to explain this to the ballot counters and also ensure they have done this. And yes, this is very important. All role players, including ballot counters, timers, all the role players and the judges, tie-breaking judge, they need to maintain confidentiality. Even after the contest is over, they should not mention, the ballot counters should not mention, oh, who the tie had, if there was a tie, who broke it, who was not qualified for time. All these things should never be disclosed by the role players, even after the contest is over. And yes, so what I do as chief judge, always I fill up the notification of contest winner form and the result form and send it to the ballot counters to recheck if what I have filled in is correct. So that is a counter check for me as well. So the chief judge basically needs to ensure that what the result is being sent is correct. So this is the tie-breaking judge, that the judge's ballot that I spoke of earlier. So here all the contestants, whether they are 8, 9, 6, whatever the number, all the contestants' names should appear in this ballot in some rank. And the name and the signature of the judge should be there. So the chief judge only selects, he or she only knows who is the tie-breaking judge. The identity always remains secret, and the ballot is collected by the chief judge himself. Now, suppose there is a tie. The chief judge will not give the tie-breaking judge ballot to the ballot counters to see and fill up the ballot sheet. No, the chief judge himself will see the two contestants who are tied, how are they ranked in the tie-breaking judge's ballot, and then tell the ballot counters, okay, so-and-so will be second and so-and-so will be third. So it is always chief judge's responsibility, and never the tie-breaking judge's identity should be disclosed. So this is an example how a tie should be broken. Suppose in scenario 1, Carol and Susan are tied at first place, and then second and third are far behind. Now we see the tie-breaking judges ranking, which is given at the top. John is first and Brad is second, third is Susan, fourth is Greg, and fifth is Carol. So what happens? Tie-breaking judge has given Susan a vote over Carol. These two are the ones who are tied for place 1 as per the ballot counter after collating the results from all the judges. So what happens? The chief judge will say Susan will be first and Carol will be second. And then Brad goes to third position, and John unfortunately does not appear in the first 3 contestants. So we do not see other contestants ranking by the tiebreaker judge. We only see the ranking of the judge, of the contestants who are tied, and accordingly break the tie. I hope this is clear. This is a very crucial point that many of the chief judges or the ballot counters struggle with. Now, what could be the reasons for disqualification? We already heard from Toastmaster Ghulam that there are only a few reasons that they can be disqualified: eligibility, originality, time, and reference to another contestant. That is there. But besides that, if when the contest chair goes onto the podium or starts the contest, if a particular contestant is not present, he or she will be disqualified, will not be allowed to participate in the contest. So originality protest, this can happen and this can be brought up by anybody in the audience and shown, but when it comes to the contest chair or the chief judge, it should only come from a judge or another contestant. So they, somebody says, oh, so much was quoted or referred to another contestant. So contestant here will be given opportunity to respond to the judges. The chief judge will call all the judges together and explain that we have received this protest and what do you think? So the judges say, yes, more than 25% was a quoted content. If that is there, still the contestant will be called and given a chance to explain. And on the basis of that explanation, the judges together will decide with majority if that particular contestant should be disqualified. Now, once this contest is over, we have handled the protest and everything. What are the duties of a chief judge? Now, the chief judge will first fill up the results form and send it to the contest chair. So here, there is a column to say if there was a time disqualification, yes or no. No names are disclosed who is disqualified. Only yes or no, and it will be how many are disqualified. Suppose there are 2, then we'll say yes, and then on the right hand side we will write 2 contestants disqualified. And then the names of first, second, and third in the order whatever is mentioned here. Like here we say usually third is written first. On the results form, the third place contestant's name will come first, second place contestant will come second, and first place contestant name will come at the third in the end. But we have to be sure that when the result is read out by the contest chair, it will be in the same order. So that needs to be ensured by a chief judge. And that is why it is recommended that the results are declared in the presence of chief judge. I have seen many contests where chief judge is not present and the results are declared at that particular time. Sometimes the chief judges can't be available at that time. That is okay, but as far as possible, the chief judge should be present when his category results are announced. Or ensure that at least there are timers or the head of education or the contest chair who will ensure that they are read properly. Because once they are declared, the result is declared, they are considered to be final. So within a few seconds of results being announced, if it is mentioned that the results have not been announced properly, it should be done within a few seconds. That's what I mean. And then the notification of contest winner form should be filled up with all the contestants' name. If there were 6 contestants in that particular category, all the 6 names should appear as per first, second, third will be as per the results announced, and 4th, 5th, 6th will be as per the tie-breaking judge sheet. So this should be sent to the next level. Suppose it's a club contest, then it should go to the area. If it's area contest, it should go to the division, and so on. Now, after the contest also they will, okay, this is already explained. And yes, of course, the chief judge has to thank all judges for their service. Because personally speaking, I feel the most crucial or most difficult role is that of a judge. Because when to be very fair, to not have in their minds things like halo effect, reverse halo, and all those things. So those things are a challenge for a judge. But chief judge has to ensure that the judging is happening ethically and fairly. Now, what are the challenges that a chief judge could face? So these are very, very typical and very, very, you might have seen in many contests this happening. During the minute of silence, the certificates are being given. And so there is a distraction for the judges. So minute of silence means it should be there should be complete silence. So a chief judge is the one who ensures that by pointing it out and asking everyone to stay quiet. Interviews, whether they should happen or they should not happen. Ideally, they should not happen during the first or second or third category contest, because same contestants might be there in the fourth contest as well. So that can create a kind of bias in the minds of judges. So ideally, the contestant interviews should be held only in the end or after all the category contests have been completed, when the judging is being, the ballots are being collected and collated, the results are being collated. That time can be utilized for the interviews at the end of the contest. Improper timing announcement. So sometimes the contest chair, out of nervousness or maybe just inadvertently, will announce the wrong timing, that the timing of table topics will be 2 to 3 minutes or evaluation will be 1 to 2 minutes. So the chief judge has to be very, very vigilant to see that the correct timings are being announced. During the evaluation and table topics contest, the breakout rooms are very, very challenging at times. So that needs to be ensured by the chief judge. Sometimes the contestant get disconnected from the breakout room. So what should be the course of action during that particular time? So as per the rules, if the contestant gets disconnected from the breakout room, they are not eligible to participate after that, because they might have had access to the topic or other contestants or other audience during that particular time. So to be fair, they should not be allowed. Preparatory notes during evaluation contest. So whether they are being, the contestants are being seen well by the sergeant at arms, their hands, they are not looking at the phone or referring to somebody. So that is a very crucial time, and how the sergeant at arms should take up these issues, that briefing needs to be done by the chief judge or needs to be ensured. Test speaker during the evaluation contest, how he or she is announced, whether the identity is disclosed or not disclosed. These are the challenges that a chief judge needs to be very vigilant about. Noise or distractions during the ballot marking and incorrect result announcement. So as I already mentioned, these are the challenges that a chief judge faces during the judging. These are the various resources that are available for a chief judge. And as we mention again and again, the latest of these resources should be downloaded by the chief judge at the beginning of the contest. The latest of these resources should be shared with the judges and the contestants. Now there's one thing that is quite crucial as a chief judge, besides what we have seen in this slide. Sorry. Yes, what I mentioned in the beginning, the timing is not to be considered by the judges. Even though the timing is not to be considered, the judges need to be sure about, especially in the online contest, judges need to know at least. They should not consider it in their judging, but they need to know at least when to start judging the speech. Suppose, especially in the case of disconnection, suppose a contestant is disconnected. So whether to judge that contestant or not, that should be made that should be clarified by the chief judge in the beginning itself to the judges, when to start judging the speech and when not to judge the speech. Suppose a contestant has spoken only for 2 minutes and got disconnected and could not join back again. So should the judge be judging that contestant or not? Now, all these things need to be clarified by the chief judge at the beginning of the contest. So now, after this, do you feel more confident about being a chief judge? May I now ask everyone, who would like to be a chief judge? Do I see more hands now? Yes, I think I see more hands. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. So great. I want to see actually more hands from the audience. Still, there are very few, not the ideal number that I would have liked to see, but yet there is an improvement. So with this, I hand over this podium back to Master of Ceremonies, DTM Priscilla.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Alka Kumra, for taking us through this Chief Judges training. And I'm sure by the end of the next session, there will be more hands going up for the role of Chief Judge and judges. Now, I have a question for all present here. We've been told about what it is to be a good judge and a chief judge. Can anyone tell me the qualities of a good judge? Are you all putting it in the chat? Okay, nobody. See, Benjamin Franklin was right. We tell you, you forget. We teach you, you all don't remember. Now, forgetting and don't remember is one and the same. But he also said, get you all involved. So now is the time to get you all involved. And to do that, we have a contest in action, where all of you, dear fellow Toastmasters, will be judges. And you will be given the opportunity for a hands-on experience judging a contest. Surprised? Distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar Revankar cannot wait to put you all to the test. A quality assurance professional as an ISO 9001 and 22,000 auditor, food safety trainer, no doubt, it makes him the on-demand contest chief judge. Please help me welcome the host of the contest in action, distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar Revankar. And on his team, he has the dynamic and talented triple graduate Toastmaster who has held various offices in District 20 and has served as club officers multiple times. District 20 winner of the International Speech Contest at TTAC 2022, Toastmaster Tabassum Ali, please get back to your seat, will be the contest chair. And they will be supported by the amazing and enthusiastic role players, Toastmaster Virmit Kaur and Toastmaster Asma Afdal as timers, Toastmaster Balamurugan and distinguished Toastmaster Asha Rani as ballot counters, Toastmaster Srinivas Chalapati and Toastmaster Nuha Madani as sergeant at arms, and Toastmaster Vishal Khan and Toastmaster Mohammad Shiraz as moderators. Are you all ready to get involved and hone your contest judging skills? Ready? You are. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar Revankar.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, GTM Priscilla Dias, for that wonderful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, should I call ladies and gentlemen? Let me rephrase it. Today, we are going to see a difference. I am sure in none of the contests you had seen what is exactly happening in that breakout room with the ballot counters and the chief judge. You must have not seen what happens during a protest, how some of the best contestants lose out to undeserving. That sometimes there's opinion. Sometimes we have a scenario when the contestant feels we were let down by the chief judge and the team of judges. I done my best, but I don't know what is wrong with those judges. I did not win. Have you ever come across such situations? If yes, today we are going to reveal to you what goes behind the scenes. Contest in actions. A warm good evening to one and all. Today, we are going to showcase to you a contest which is focused primarily on judging and chief judge roles and responsibilities and how they operated during their time. We'll have a contest, and that will two parts. First, we'll have an international speech contest, followed by a table topic contest. Consider this is the area level contest. And once we say contest, we need some host for that, right? So today's contest chair for this contest is played by a dynamic lady who is already introduced by Master of Ceremony. I won't take much of the time. I'd like to welcome on the stage the contest chair for the international speech contest. Toast DTM Tabassum Ali. Over to you.
DTM Anil Revankar, our wonderful chief judge, and our master of ceremonies. I'm very well present here.
Give me a second, contest chair, Toastmaster Tabassum. We have with us our international director, distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shahbaz Ali, who has joined us for this wonderful training. If we may have a word from distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shahbaz, that would really set this contest in action in motion.
Good morning, dear Master of Ceremonies, DTM Priscilla, District Leaders DD Khalid Abdullah, PQD Mona, and CGD Yasir, District Leaders and Members, Division Directors. Very good morning once again. Happy to just jump in for a while. I try my best not to miss workshops from District 20. Whatever I can get for a short span of time that I join in, I try to implement it as much as possible. And judging and chief judging is the core of what we do in our district conference, all the way till there, from club level to the district conference. I know this is being recorded. If it goes to the masses, it's excellent. I see some great points being discussed here, and we might do judging every other year. But you see, we need to be refreshed. That knowledge lots of points could be added to it. I'm happy to see DTM Anil Kumar here, who is giving World Headquarters a very tough time with his queries and ceasing me. Hope someday I am going to share his thoughts with casually with few board members, but we have really sharp analysis done by DTM Anil Kumar on the judging book. Thanks, Anil, for sending us at the board all those points. Thank you very much. Over to you, our Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗄, for your insight on the reason why we should conduct these trainings very often to refresh our members and judges and chief judges. With that, over to you, Contest Chair Tabassum Ali. Set your contest in motion.
Thank you so much. Yes, the ball is rolling, and you can also add contestants as well. It is as important for a contestant to attend this training to know exactly how the ballot paper and how are the judges, what is working in the judge's mind. And yes, we are setting the tone for the contest to be conducted by our international director, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒗𝒆𝒊𝒏. And the last year, judges training, which I had attended physically in 2019, was conducted by our international director. And today he's here to guide us. So let's start with the contest without much ado. Welcome once again to the International Speech Contest, a contest which starts at the club level and takes you right to the World Championship of Public Speaking. And today we have two contestants who have taken their first step towards this coveted title. So my dear judges, role players, and all Toastmasters present here, please take note of the speaking order. Contestant number 1, Lateef Mansoor Ali. I repeat, contestant number 1, Lateef Mansoor Ali. Contestant number 2, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. Contestant number 2, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. Please turn your cameras on. Thank you. As in how I call out your names. Can we have 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 too? Thank you. All the contestants are in good standing. The judges have been briefed about their respective roles, as well as our Toastmasters who have attended the 2 training sessions of DTM Alka Kumra and Toastmaster Farooq Kadir. Timing for the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. Timers, please show the timing screen. Green timers, can we have the timer highlighted, spotlighted as well? Thank you, moderator. Green indicator at 5 minutes, yellow indicator at 6 minutes, red indicator at 7 minutes. 30 seconds grace will be allowed after 7 minutes. To contestants speaking for less than 4.5 minutes or more than 7.5 minutes will be disqualified. No indication will be given for overtime. Timing begins with the first verbal, non-verbal cue. All speeches must be original in nature, and please adhere to the no referencing clause. Protest, if any, can be raised. Hello. If yes, we'll listen to you as soon as we finish the contest. So please mute yourself. If any can be raised, it can be raised only with the chief judge or the contest chair before the contest adjourns. Okay, contestants, are you ready? Yes, give me some thumbs up. Excellent, and a smile too. Toastmasters, around 54 of you, are you ready? And chief judge, are your judges ready? Great. Can we proceed with the contest? Thank you. Contestant number 1, Lateef Mansoor Ali. How are you? Can you please unmute yourself? Moderator, can you assist a contestant to unmute themselves? A contestant 1. Thank you. Lateef Mansoor Ali, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. If that's your speaking area and you would like to begin, give me a smile and thumbs up. Thank you. Contestant number 1, Lateef Mansoor Ali. Title of his speech, randomness. Title of his speech, randomness. Lateef Mansoor Ali, all the best. Over to you.
We all want to be happy, don't we? And for me, it was simple: follow the plan in the book, get richer, and be happy. Contest chair and fellow distinguished audience, this small plan was short and simple. I wanted to be rich, so I applied in the embassy to get abroad, and that was the United States of America. Somehow, she read my mind and said, "Lateef, over there are sky-high buildings. You are young, so you can work and study. Eventually, you will get your residence and you will never leave and come back to your home country." I said, no, I will come. I'm just going to visit. But eventually, rejected. That was one point. And after the United States of America, the only thing which I remember was the United Arab Emirates. Those were the things which were very famous when I was young. Now I had no clue who will give me job going to Dubai. I struggled a bit, followed my passion, left everyone who came for visit, my friends, family. Is there any way I can get a job? No one helped. And luckily that one day, after maybe couple of years, I found a gentleman who came as an angel in my life. But he belonged to Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He took me over there without any contract, without I knowing my salary, plus I didn't know what work I'm going to do. Only back of my mind, shortcut, go abroad and be rich. I happily flown, sat in the plane, arrived, there he waiting for me, and then he dropped me to a room filled with another 25 people. Back home, I was having a room for myself. And now I'm sharing a big with 25 other people. I worked as a laborer, fitting the advertising boards in the bakery and at the grocery, with only one intention: work hard, get richer, and be happy. Finally, I managed to get some salaries. But that was not enough because I was so young that I could not negotiate a good salary. One person of mine who was earning the same salary said, "I am saving around 75 riyals. Can you do this?" I was like, 75 riyals? Yes, I can. So I struggled a bit, but made a good plan for it. And plan was short and simple. I used to work at the grocery. So before the expiry date, I used to have all the dairies and give the empty boxes of yogurt and milk to the farmers or to the dairy grocery shops. They used to take back and throw it in the bin. I don't have to pay that. Same happened in the bakery. The shelf which I had it has to go off. Last day in my stomach. I managed to save 75 riyals And it was a huge success for me. I happily ran away to the telephone center. Those days there was no WhatsApp. So I called my ma and I said, Mama, I am so happy. She said, I am too happy because you are there, happy and calling me. Few minutes later, we start crying. And that emotions, I don't even remember how many minutes we spoke. But as I came out, the counter guy said, "Sir, 68 riyals." And everything went off. Contest chair, I can see red light. No, it was 5 to 7 minutes.
You can continue.
Continue.
So what is my time now?
PM Latif, continue, please.
So the tears came into her eyes and my eyes, and as I went to the counter, he said 68 riyals. And all those struggle which I did with my stomach and my control of emotions and my needs, which I could have spent some more amount of money in the restaurants, went to the telephone calls. That time I understood that to become a rich, there should be a different plan. Every day for another 18 months, I used to shut down the shutter, sat on the stairs of the shop and think, what can happen good to me? What is that which I am waiting for? And luckily, the owner, the kafil, my akama, he came and said, I have bought a travel agency. Is it possible for you to come one day over there and fill up the chair? I was happy, but I did not lose that opportunity. That randomness which happened to me was more than a gift. Past my travel journey from Saudi Arabia to Kuwait, it's been almost 25 years. I have become a supervisor, a senior supervisor in travel agency. Back then, I was struggling for money, but today I have richness in my family. We are united. We think alike. I don't have much of the bank balance, but I have a secured retirement plan. So friends, work hard and believe in some of the randomness, which makes you do better. You sing along, you want to fire yourself from other job and try look other things, do yourself. But only ultimate goal should be happy to yourself. Believe in randomness. Contest check.
Thank you, contestant number 1. 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their battle. Thank you, dear timer. Before I proceed to contestant number 2, I would request our Chief Judge's intervention that can we have just one timer display the timing card? Chief Judge. DTM Anil Kumar Revankar.
Yeah, only one timer. Timer 1.
Sure. So we'll have timer 1 displaying the timer.
Sure.
Thank you. Contestant number 2, 𝗖𝙧𝙬𝙧 D'Souza. Title of her speech, how are you?
I'm good.
Can you see the timer?
Yes.
If that's your is that your speaking area? Okay. If you're ready to go, then give me a smile and a thumbs up. Contestant number 2, 𝗖𝙧𝙬𝙧 D'Souza. Title of her speech, Humor in Life. Humor in Life, 𝗖𝙧𝙬𝙧 D'Souza. All the best. Over to you.
When was the last time you laughed out loud? I'm not talking about the lols or the smiley emojis that you send on your social media or distribute online. I'm talking about a full-throated, hearty laughter, the one that has no barriers, the one that lifts your spirit and makes you feel life is worth living. Good morning, contest chairs, honorable judges, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends. They say to succeed in life, you need 3 bones: the wishbone, the backbone, and the funny bone. Well, I have the first 2, and I'm working to develop the last one. And I personally feel humor works like a great sauce. You can also treat it like a little garnish on your dish, or even that extra chili flakes in your pasta, or the extra cheese in your pizza. I know what you're exactly thinking. With so much hate, violence, tensions, a bad job, soul-sucking job, miserable work conditions and pay, how can you find any reason to be happy or even smile about? Well, let me introduce you to the power of humor when you are at your lowest, mentally or physically. But what exactly is humor? Anybody? Well, it is the ability to find things funny, or just see some things funny, or simply the quality of being funny. Humor is one of the most effective and important ingredients to spice up the dish of life. As Toastmaster Latif said, we all want to be happy and we want to be rich. I do agree with him. For example, I remember this instance in the school. Our teacher asked in the class, name an animal that begins with E. And one of my classmates immediately stood up and said, an elephant. She said, okay, name an animal that starts with T. The same boy replied, 2 elephants. Well, she got irritated and agitated, and she sent him outside the class. And then she went on again, and she asked, name me an animal that starts with M. From outside the class, the boy went on to say, maybe an elephant? Well, although he created a little bit of disturbance in class, you see what he tried to do in a tense situation in a class? He lightened up the mood. He had a sense of humor. You see, we always underestimate this freely available aspect in our life called humor. Some have the benefit of having a humorous demeanor. Others can definitely adopt and adapt and become more humorous or become more joyous in life. The one thing that humor does is that it doesn't distinguish either you're rich, poor, or different gender. For everyone, humor can be the same. But how can you be humorous, or how can you develop Because for me, I think humor is more like an immune system. It's something for your mind's immune system. We have 5 senses. I'm sure you agree with me. But do you know, without the 6th sense, having the other 5 senses seem a little incomplete. The 6th sense being the sense of humor. How do you develop this? Well, learn to laugh at yourself. I know it's easy then it's done, but take some embarrassing moments and make some anecdotes from that and share it with others. You can always try to laugh at situations rather than bemoan them. Sometimes there are negative situations, and only after time passes, we realize, Arey, why did I, be so upset about that? It was just such a silly thing. I could have just laughed about it. But how do you do this? You should not go a day without laughing. Think of it like an exercise. Allot 15 or 10 minutes a day and just specifically try to uplift your moods. Smile at something, laugh at something, discuss a funny instance with a colleague or friend. So dear friends, cheer up and spice up the life of others with a little touch of humor. Over to you.
Thank you, contestant 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. 1 minute of silence for the judges to make their ballot. Two minutes of silence for ballot counter to collect the ballot. Chief Judge, can we proceed?
Yeah, just hold on to the contest chair. we have received one protest. I request the moderator to please identify the judges and take us to a breakout room. Please do not conclude the contest here. Moderator, can you please unmute the speakers, the judges? They are marked as J. Moderator, can you please unmute all the judges? They are marked as coded J.
Yes, all the judges have been unmuted. Thank you,
Yes.
Suji.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed a beautiful international speech contest, and we had two contestants at the area level. Now, since we have received a protest from one of the judges, we have to handle the protest. Now, this is how we are going to handle a protest when you are a chief judge. For next few minutes, all the audience will act as judges. I'm going to show you as a chief judge how it is handled. Please keep in mind, this is a training session, not a real contest. So any resemblance to any contestant's name, etc., is pure coincidental. Please do not consider it otherwise. All the judges are present? Hello, can you show me?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
A warm good evening to esteemed panel of judges.
Good evening,
Dear friends,
Chief Judge.
Dear friends, we have a protest that's received from one of the judges regarding the reference to another contestant at the same contest. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would like to call the contestant and ask for her say on this. The protest was raised against the second contestant, Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝗶 𝗧𝗕. Before I call her in the breakout room, I would like to hear from you. She had very clearly referred to contestant number 1, name as well as the content of the speech. That is the protest that is raised. I believe you have heard that.
Yes.
Right? So now let's
Yes.
call the contestant. Let's call the contestant in and ask. Moderator, please unmute contestant number 2, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. Please unmute her. Moderator, please unmute contestant number 2, Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. Yeah, thank you. A warm good morning to the wonderful speaker, 𝗖𝗵𝒶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. Wow, really appreciate your speech today. A wonderful delivery. However, we would like to inform you that we have received a protest from one of the judges that you have referred in your speech to contestant number 1's content, as well as you have also used his name. So we have a panel of judges who are present here, and we would like to hear from you regarding the protest. Would you like to say anything on this?
Good morning once again. Chief Judge, I wasn't aware of the rules that I'm not allowed to mention a fellow contestant's name, since this is my first time participating. So I apologize for this, and I understand now that I shouldn't be taking a fellow contestant's matter or name in my speech. We'll keep that in mind. Apologies.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵𝒶𝒂💏. There is absolutely no need of apology. In Toastmasters, we always learn either from others' mistakes or our own mistakes. So let's take it as a stepping stone for success in future. We wish you all the best, and we would like to inform you of the results later on. Thank you very much. Please mute now. Judges, we have just heard from the Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵𝒶𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 regarding the protest. What is your say on this? Do you agree for disqualification or you disagree? Because majority.
Yes, disqualified as per the rule.
Yeah. Judge 5, Judge 2, Judge 3.
Yeah,
Judge-
not an excuse. She mentioned the other contest name, so she should be disqualified.
Yeah. Judge 2.
Yes, disqualified as per the rule.
Yeah. Judge 3. J3. Yes, okay, done.
Yes,
So can
I
show-
too concur with the panel of judges, and she should be disqualified as per the rule.
Thank you. So we have seen that the majority of the judges have concurred with the fact that we need to disqualify contestant number 2 for using a reference to contestant number 1, as well as the content of his speech, which is against the contest rule. Thank you, judges. You may go back to the main room. We're done with the protest. So coming back to the main meeting room, contest chair, you may proceed.
Thank you so much, wonderful Chief Judge Anil Kumar Revankar, for solving the issues so impeccably. Moving on to our next segment. Are we ready to begin our table topic contest, Chief Judge? Thank you. Life does not come with a manual. Most of the time, we have to rely on our impromptu skills, and this contest hones your skills of quick thinking on your toes. Please note that all the contestants are in good standing. All the contestants and judges have been briefed about their respective roles. All the contestants will be given one topic. Topic will be read twice and also sent as a typed message in contestants' personal chat. Moderator, please note. Except for contestant number 1, the rest of the contestants will be sent to the breakout room. There are some breakout room etiquettes which have been explained to the contestants. Speeches will be from ½ minute to 1.5 minutes. Oh, sorry. The speeches will be
contest rule, please.
Sorry. Speeches will be for 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes. Timers. Please show the timing screen. Let me just call the contestants first. Judges and all the wonderful Toastmasters, please note down the speaking order. Contestant, please rename yourself as per the protocol. Table topic contestant number 1, Hanan Haloush. Can we have her spotlighted? Table topic contestant number 2, Rohaina Akil. Table topic contestant number 3, Seham Mohammed. Table topic contestant number 4, Alan Paul. Welcome. The speech will be for 1.5 minutes. Can we have the timer spotlighted as well? At ½ minute, you will be shown the green indicator.
Contest chair, may I intervene?
Yes, please.
Timing for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes.
Please follow the contest rules.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Speech will be from 1 to 2 minutes. Timers, please show the timing screen. Green indicator at 1 minute. Yellow indicator at 1.5 minutes. And red indicator at 2 minutes. 30 seconds, thank you. 30 seconds of grace will be given, after which the contestant will be disqualified. No indicator will be given for overtime. Protest, if any, can be raised only with the chief judge or the contest chair. Toastmasters and functionaries, I hope you have noted the speaking order. So contestants, are you ready? Awesome. Toastmaster and chief judge, are your judges all ready? Yes. As per the breakout room etiquette, we will have contestant number 1 remaining in this room and request the moderator and timer number 2 to be sent to the breakout room. We will wait for the confirmation by Chief Judge to begin the contest.
The intervention, contest chair, we don't need timer in the breakout room. We need a sergeant at arms in breakout room. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Can we have a sergeant at arms, second sergeant at arms to be sent to the breakout room? Thank you.
Moderator, can you also please allow me in the breakout room for a few moments?
Yes, CJ.
Where is the moderator?
Yes, we just moving the people in, slowly moving in.
Yeah, yeah. 1 second, where is the...
All right, CJ, sending you into the breakout room, and you may also leave the breakout room at your discretion.
Yeah, sure.
Contest chair, I confirm contestant 2, 3, and 4, along with Sergeant at Arms 2, and the Chief Judge are in the breakout room. Thank you. Over to you.
Chief Judge. Moderator, please confirm if the Chief Judge comes back.
Yeah, you may proceed.
Thank you. Chief Sergeant at Arms, can I request you to prepare contestant number 1?
Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Hanan Halosh. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
You're perfectly audible and you're perfectly visible. If that's your speaking order, may I request you to show me a thumbs up and a smile? Give me a smile, please. Great. Contestant, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Chief Sergeant at Arms. Contestant number 1, Hanan Halosh. Your topic is the human body has been designed to resist an infinite number of changes and attacks which are brought about by the environment. Only by focusing on them and successfully adjusting to its needs, we can achieve a balance in life. I repeat, the human body has been designed to resist an infinite number of changes and attacks which are brought about by the environment. Only by focusing on them successfully, adjusting to its needs, we can achieve a balance in life. Contestant number 1, Hanan.
Hold on, please. Contest chair. I believe that the topic you have quoted for contestant is very lengthy and not out of contest time. Give me a minute to consult with my judges. Hold up for a minute. Judges, sure. You can unmute. Judges, where are judges? Okay.
Yeah.
Judges, do you concur with me? Do you agree with my statement? I feel that table topic that was used by contest chair is very lengthy and it's not a contest type that can easily help the contestant to lead to a conclusion. Or what's your say on that? Should we continue with the same topic or should we go for a change?
We should go for a change.
We should go for a change.
Thank you. Next judge, please be quick.
Yes,
No,
change.
topic is very lengthy. We have to reduce it.
Yes. The third one, quickly, we have to be a little quick in this. Okay, the other judges are sending by message. Okay, contest chair, we would like to request you to please change the topic. And you can go for the second topic. Thank you.
Noted, Chief Judge. Contestant number 1, Hanan Halush. Your topic will also be typed in the private chat. Your topic is the secret of health lies in a good mental health. I repeat, the secret of health lies in a good mental health. Toastmaster Hanan Halush, all the best, all yours.
Thank you, table topics, and thank you, contest chair, for this amazing topic. I totally agree with you that for us to live in this life and to succeed, we need to have the right mental health. It's not only the mental health like the body, it's also your psychological health. Like, for example, just lately I came back from my vacation. And because of the change of the weather, I'm feeling a continuous headache since I landed in Kuwait. If myself didn't cure my headache, I would not have been able to function either family-wise or on my career, because immediately I started back working. So I totally believe that the mental health is so important, because otherwise how you are going to function in life. But also, you need to take care of your body. The way your body speaks to you through your headaches or any ache in your stomach or any other parts of your body. So my fellow Toastmasters, pay attention to these small signs, to these small details in your life. And believe me, you will be able to succeed. Back to you, table topic master or contest chair.
Thank you, contestant 1, Hanan Halush. 1 minute of silence. One minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Chief Sergeant at Arms, can we prepare contestant number 2?
Contestant number 2, DTM Rohina Akhil. Hello.
Hello.
Rohina Akhil, contestant number 2. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Doing well. You're perfectly audible, you're perfectly visible.
Thank
Is that
you.
your speaking area?
Yes, it is.
Can I see a thumbs up sign from you, please? Thank you very much.
Contestant number 2, Rohina Akhil. Your topic is the secret of health lies in a good mental health. I repeat, the secret of health lies in a good mental health. Rohina Akhil, all the best. Over to you.
Thank you so much, contest chair. I always believe anything and everything about health. And the secrets of anything related to health definitely lies in you being mentally sane. Now, how do you keep yourself mentally sane? That's the big question in today's world. In today's world where there's so much of confusion, so much of movement around you that, you start doing double jobs, you start doing multitasking, your mind is never focused. And I see that for many people. They try to focus on one thing and then, oh, I remember this. I left that on the stove. Oh, I've got my children's homework to be done. It's like all the time your mind is completely distraught with ideas, with things to do, with to-do lists, and many things are not undone by 12 o'clock midnight. And again, they go carry over for the next day. So how can one stay mental? I think one person has to meditate, has to pray, has to give themselves the time to become mentally sane. And that one person, the one individual, can do it by themselves. They have to make time for themselves. Now that time can be by reducing your own half an hour of sleep in the morning. That's all you need, half an hour. Why can't you give that to yourself? I think I can, and I am trying to. I think each of us can. If we do that to ourselves, I think our day would go well. Our day would be full of surprises and we would welcome them because we would be mentally challenged to accept, yes, I can do it. That's what we should really look out for. So all in all, I feel that, a person is going to have a good state of mind and that way state of health. Because after all, health is wealth. Don't you all agree with me? If we don't want to collect wealth in our lives, how can you do it if you don't have health? I mean, tomorrow if I want to fall sick, I'm going to use all my money just to get better. Maybe go for surgeries, maybe go for treatments, maybe go for those MRI scans and CT scans. That's going to take all my money away. Will it give me health? No, I would still become weak. I would lose my immunity. I would lose my good health. So to maintain that health, what do we really need? We need a good mind. We need that mental health which will give us the ability to move on. That's what we need. So kick yourself in the morning, wake up and say, I'm going to be fit today. Start by meditation. Start by going for a walk. Listen to music when you do that. Believe me, mentally, you will be sane. And that will give you lots and lots of health all along the way. Kudos to you. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you, contestant number 2, Rohaina Akil. One minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballot. Satu Sham, please prepare contestant. Thank you.
Contestant number 3, Sahan Muhammad. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. You're perfectly audible. You're perfectly visible. Do you see the timer number 1 on your screen?
Timer number 1 on my screen. I see timer number.
May I request you to please spin?
All right. Okay.
And if that's your speaking position, may I see a thumbs up sign from you, please?
Yes.
Contestant, she's all yours.
Thank you, Chief Sergeant at Arms. Contestant number 3, Seham Mohammed. Your topic is, the secret of health lies in a good mental health. I repeat, the secret of health lies in a good mental health. Seham Mohammed, all the best. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Contest Chair. So, the health always lies in the mental. Oh, okay, way of thinking. You can see me, right? I'm so healthy, okay? So, Contest Chair, esteemed Chief Judge and panel of judges, fellow Toastmasters, good morning. Actually, I have a different way of thinking about how to be healthy. I know that all what I can survey, the research said that to be healthy is to have good food or to have exercises, so on and so forth. All right, I agree with that absolutely. But I feel that the really good health comes from your mental way of thinking about how to live healthy. In my opinion, living healthy is not only about food and exercises, it's also about how do you appreciate yourself? How do you accept yourself in the first place, no matter how do you look, no matter how much you weigh, no matter what do you dress. It's only about accepting yourself. So it starts within you, in your mental concept about yourself. This way you are going to do whatever it takes to live healthy. So in my opinion, living healthy is starting from your own point of view. Over to you, Contest Chair.
Thank you, contestant Seham Mohammed. One minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballot. Chief Sergeant at Arms, can you prepare contestant number 4?
Contestant number 4, Alan Paul. How are you today?
Doing great.
You're perfectly audible, you're perfectly visible.
Thank you.
You seeing timer number 1 on your screen?
Yes, I can see timer Toastmaster 𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓
May I request you to please pin the timer?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Is that your speaking position?
Yes, correct.
May I see a thumbs up from you, please? Contestant is all yours.
Contestant, I can hear a lot of distractions.
Not from my side.
Okay, that should be fine. Moderator, please look into it. Thank you. Contestant, over to you.
Contestant number 4, Alan Paul. Your topic is the secret of health lies in a good mental health. I repeat, the secret of health lies in a good mental health. Ellen, Paul, all the best. Over to you.
Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and friends. I remember when I was in college, I was 85 kgs. I was in a good mental health too. But I was fat. And I somehow wanted to reduce to, look good for college days, which I did. I believe I was having a good mental health during that time. But again, after college, I again increased. And this time, I had good mental health. Then followed by, I had a huge, incredible amount of weight gain after that. But still, I had a good mental health. And there came a point where I had to lose a lot of weight again with a good mental health. So the point that I'm trying to make here is, I don't think a good mental health is required for a good health. Mental health is separate from a good mental health, from a good health. So if you feel that you are not able to reduce weight because your mental health is not fine, I believe that is a wrong way of thinking. So this is just my opinion. And with that being said, back to you, contest chair.
Thank you, contestant number 4. One minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballot, followed by 2 minutes for the ballot counter to collect their ballot. One minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballot.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Moderator, all the ballots have been collected.
Thank you. Chief Judge, can we adjourn the meeting?
No. We have to do our job of telling the ballots. So you can take a rest for some time. I will be calling you back. So from here, I take over as a CJ. You can take rest. Good afternoon once again. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen different scenarios, what can happen in a contest. Whether it's long table topics, distractions, wrong timings, interventions, and so on. Now let's see what happens during the compilation of the results. So from this point, I would like to have all the audience assuming themselves as chief judges. Are you with me? Great. And we have our two ballot counters. DTM Asha Rani, and where is the second ballot counter? Yes, we have the second ballot counter, Toastmaster Balamurugan. So they have already received the ballots. They have begun the process. Let's give them a few minutes to compile it, and when we go in the details. All right. Let's move in. Okay, sit back and relax and try to understand how the process goes on. So the telecounters have already started filling the progress. And as we move, the results are ready because we have just two contestants in international speech contest. So we had 5 judges who were appointed for this, and that's exactly the requirement for area contest. Minimum judges should be 5. You can have more than that. There's absolutely no problem. The more the better. And you can see the results. It's a very clear-cut results which is showing 𝗖𝗵𝙗 D'Souza to be winning with 14 points against Toastmaster Latif with 11 points. Do you all agree with that? Have you seen that? Great. However, when we see the timer report, we also find that even the timing is perfect. They are all both are qualifying as per the time. However, there was a protest for originality and referring to another contestant's speech. So that calls for a disqualification of contestant number 2. So when you have the results, we don't have any time disqualification because both the contestants, they have performed well and they are within the time. However, due to the fact that we had a disqualification because of originality and referring to another contestant, we had to disqualify. The team of judges had to disqualify contestant number 2. So the winner is contestant number 1, is Toastmaster Mansoor Ali Khan. Is that clear? That was for the first contest, that is international speech contest. Now let's move to the second contest we had today. That was table topic contest. So table topic contest is the ballot counters are at work. They have received the ballots and they are compiling the scores. While they are doing that, it has been brought to my notice from the ballot counters that there are some unfavorable or non-favorable ballots. Let's have a look at that. This is the first ballot that has been handed over to me. I would like to ask the chief judges. Just raise your hand. What is wrong in this ballot? Why we call it unfavorable? Moderator, please unmute. Yeah. J1. Let's do it quickly, please. Let's do it quickly, please. Yeah. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, please.
This is Annadatta Murli Manohar. There were only 2 names pronounced there. 3rd place is not mentioned.
Thank you. Rightly said by judge number 1. We required 3 contestants, but however, this particular judge has marked only for 2. The 3rd one he has not marked. So this makes this particular ballot invalid and cannot be considered for the winner's decision. Thank you. Let's move forward. The second ballot that was received also had some issue. Can we have some other? Okay. Please unmute Smita Kotkar.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Can you highlight what's wrong in this ballot?
So the ballot is not signed. Neither is the name or nor the signature there.
Okay, but it's not a valid. I can see both. Name is there as well as the signature is there. It's very clear.
Okay, okay. It was
Okay,
not
let's
visible.
give the opportunity to J4. Judge number 4. Let's make it quick, please. We are running out of time.
Yeah, thank
Please
you.
unmute yourself.
Actually, in first place, there are 2 winners' name mentioned. That is invalid.
Thank you. So the judge has rightly pointed out we have everything in ballot except that the first place we have 2 winners. We have to have a very clear 3 winners. No double winners or no duplicates. It has to be clear. 1, 2, 3. First place, second place, third place. So that makes this particular ballot invalid. Let's move to the third one. Can we have someone else from the audience? Yes, we have Sarah Ibrahim who has raised her hand. Please unmute her, please.
Yes.
Sarah, what's wrong with this ballot?
The signature of the judge is not
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So this particular ballot is not having signature of the judge, which is mandatory to make this a ballot from the judge a valid one. Thank you very much. So we have seen 3 cases which are, I will not say it's impossible, but this does happen in contest, wherein even our experienced judges sometimes they miss out on this thing, and that makes that ballot invalid. Now we have the tally sheets ready, and we have this scenario wherein again we can see very clear indication, just like one of the judges had shown in the ballot. We have a tie between contestant number 1 and contestant number 4. Can you see that? Somebody show a thumbs up. Great. So as per the counter tally sheet, we have 2 first place winners followed by second contestant who is placed in 2 and Siham who will be placed in 3. Right? Now what do we do in this case? We have a tie. So the first thing we do, we have to check whether they qualified for the speech based on the time. So we see here, oh, there is a problem. Just go behind, you see, Rohena, as per this tally, stands second. However, when we check on the timer's report, we find that Rohena Akil has crossed the time limit by 1 second. She took 2 minutes, 31 seconds to complete her speech on table topics. That calls for a disqualification on time. So what remains is we have 3 contestants remaining, but still we have this condition of tie. We have ruled out contestant number 2 on the tally sheet. So now we have a tie. So when we have tie, what do? We refer to tiebreaker judge. Now, when you refer to tiebreaker judge, of course, it will never be shared with the ballot counters or other judges. It remains with the chief judge. But this is for the purpose of training. We are showing it with the names and all the details. Now, if you see the tiebreaker judge for ballot for the table topics, you can see these 2 contestants. Toastmaster Hanan Halush is placed as 1, and in the 3rd place is Toastmaster Alan Paul. You remember we had only 2 contestants in a tie, Toastmaster Hanan and Toastmaster Alan Paul. So when you refer to the tie-breaking judge ballot, you get the results answer. The first place goes to Toastmaster Hanan, followed by Toastmaster Alan Paul, and the results changes too. The first place winner becomes Toastmaster Hanan Halush, followed by Toastmaster Alan Paul, and Toastmaster Siham Mohammed remains on place 3. This is the way the chief judge handles the compilation of results in the breakout room. If you have any questions, please post it in the chat. We will take it out in the QA session. Now, having done this, the results are ready. Then we call in the contest chair back on the stage. Contest chair, we would like to welcome you on the stage once again.
Thank you so much, our wonderful Chief Judge, Anil Kumar. Shall I read the winner order?
Yeah, you can announce the winners for the first contest and the second contest.
Okay, so now it's the time for the results. Are you ready? Show me some reaction and excitement. Yes, all the contestants are excited. So I'll announce the results for the International Speech Contest first. There has been one disqualification, and that's why the winner for today's contest is Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. Drum roll. Where is Latif? Okay.
It's left. It's okay. Move ahead.
Coming to our table topics. Are you ready? I can see the contestants are all excited. So at third place, we have Toastmaster Hanan Haloush. At second place, we have Toastmaster Alan Paul. And at first place, we have, any guesses? Toastmaster Seham Mohammed. Woohoo!
Excuse me, contest chair. I'm afraid there's an error in reading the winners list. It has to be from 3 to 1, not 1 to 3. Please do the correction. Please refer to the result once again.
Oh, it's in the reverse order.
Yeah.
Sorry for the mistake. At third place, we have once again Toastmaster Seham Mohammed at third place. At second place, it's Toastmaster Alan Paul. And the winner for the table topic contest is Toastmaster Hanan Haloush. Thank you so much. Congratulations, all the participants and the winners. Back to you, Chief Judge. Thanks for the support.
Thank you, contest chair, for that wonderful session. Now we have the last portion, which is also responsibility of the Chief Judge. So let me share that too with you. This is after the contest. We need to produce this notification of the contest winners with all the details. Is it clear, visible to you? Well, just a minute. Here you see, you need to fill all the details regarding the contest, the date, what type of the contest it is, the details of the winners, and the contact details of the Chief Judge. And this has to be submitted to the contest chair or the event chair at the next level of contest. So that concludes the role of Chief Judge. Now I would like to, I will not ask any questions, we'll take in the QA section. So you have seen different scenarios, what happens behind the scene, what happens in the contest, and what are the ways the CJ handles the situation. This is nothing that is created new. This is an experience over years, and which I believe most of the judges do face that. Having said that, I believe you have enjoyed it, and it was a great experience that is being shared by all the role players, the contestants, the speakers. Without taking much time, let me hand over the stage back to the Master of Ceremonies to continue with the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Head of Education, for this contest training distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar Revankar, and a big thanks to your entire team that came up together and came up with these little scenarios that you all created. And we were wondering, oh my gosh, there's something going wrong? Or is it like this? And the way you have displayed and exhibited these scenarios, which often come up in a contest, and how as judges and chief judges these scenarios can be resolved is what we saw today. This should give us the confidence that we can do this role. And the entire idea of having this contest in action, this dummy contest, was to give us the confidence to take up the role of judges and chief judges. I'm sure all present here have experienced and learned what it is to be judge and chief judge. At the next contest, I wish to see new faces as judges. Oh, we can't see judges, sorry. But the chief judges would know who they have picked on as their judges. So at least we hope to see the faces of new judges who will appoint faces of new chief judges who will choose new judges for our contest in District 20. It's time for the Q&A session. And once again, I would like to call upon our trainers, DTM Alka Kumra, Toastmaster Farooq Kadir, and our distinguished Toastmaster, Head of Education, Toastmaster Anil Kumar Revankar, to address the questions that have come across during the training. Over to you.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony, DTM Priscilla. We are back once again, and we have with us the trainer for Chief Judge, DTM Alka Kumra with us. Please excuse the first trainer because he has got some very important thing to attend and he will not be available. However, we always say the show must go on. So let's hear from you any questions relevant to this training. We are going to answer a few questions that were posted earlier. Let me answer those. One of the judges had mentioned about the timings and the virtual background that were used by contestants and so on. True, absolutely a very good observation. However, as we have mentioned right in the beginning, that this contest is a demonstration to showcase the function of judges and chief judge, and to help the contestant understand what can go wrong in their performance, even if it is perfect, why they lose. That's the whole idea behind it. Our focus was not on the contestant part regarding the voice modulation or anything to do with the speakers. It was moreover with the judging part and the CJ role. I hope I clarified that. Let's move forward next. There was one question regarding whether you can be a judge in the club where you are a member, or a judge in the same area where you are a member. Absolutely, there's no problem. However, the event chair would not like to have a judge from her or his own area or own club, because it would create a suspicion or a doubt in the minds of the contestant that he may favor. The results may be biased. So as a CJ, we would not like to have such scenario. We want to be very fair when we do a judging to all. I hope that answers, but as per the contest rule book, there is absolutely no rule which says that you cannot do it. However, when we select a judge or a chief judge, we take into consideration all other factors too. Okay, we have a question from DTM Tabassum.
Yes, I have a hello. Yes, I have a question to DTM Alka, because in her workshop she mentioned that we have to, when you are submitting the first, second, third place to the area, to the next level. So the first, second, third place is taken by the tally, and the fourth, fifth, sixth place is taken from the tiebreakers record. So do you take it from the tiebreakers record or do you take it from the tally counter sheet? I just want a clarification on that.
The tiebreakers actually, sorry, it should be from the ballot counter. But if there is a tie, we have to see from the tiebreaker judge sheet.
Okay.
I mean, we have to break the ties and then put it in the notification list.
Okay, so that means the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position will be taken from the ballot sheet.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question before we move forward? I believe audience is very, very sharp, good listeners, and they have picked up very well after the session 3. Okay. If
I
there
think
are
TM
no questions,
Asma, TM Asma raised her hand.
Yeah, that's it.
And also DTM Mona.
Mona, yeah, DTM Mona. Yes, please unmute yourself. We'd like to hear. Yeah, Toastmaster Asma, your question, please. Oh, she cannot unmute. Yeah, okay.
Well done, everyone. Okay, and thank you so much. I have a question that I noticed that there was a mistake in the order of the winners, and the chief judge, I don't know how,
no,
okay,
it's okay.
made a notice,
yes.
made a notice and say to the contested chair, no, this is not the order. Okay, but what about if the chief judge, okay, wasn't there at the announcement of the result, and the result has been already announced?
Yeah, it's a very good question, a very valid one.
Yeah.
Rightly said.
What will be?
In ideal cases, the contest chair will ensure that the chief judge is present when the results are announced. That's point number 1. In case the chief judge is having some other work to do or is unable to attend the declaration of the winners, he can assign the task to his ballot counter with the results, so that when it is read out, there is somebody from the chief judge's team who will ensure that the results are correctly read out. And this happens, you know, what is the reason for that? If you see that result form, we have winner number 3 on the top, then followed by 2 and then 1. But in the notification of winner, we have 1, 2, 3, and so on. So there is sometimes tendency of the contest chair in excitement to announce the way they feel. It happens, yes. It happens sometimes. Yeah, DTM Alka-ji.
Yes, what I would like to add here is the chief judge should instruct the contest chair during briefing regarding this point, that the result form is in this order and it should be read in this order. So if that is done, I am sure the contest chair will not make such a mistake.
Absolutely true. Absolutely. But sometimes what happens, the contest becomes so interesting and excited that it can happen. It has happened also. It has happened. Anyways, that was a live example. So I quoted for that. Yeah. Quick one from DTM Mona. IT moderator, please unmute her. So let's take one more last question, because we'll be running out of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the wonderful, amazing training. Just I want to have more highlight on the one point only. Now, as I am a contestant and I've been asked to be a judge for another contest that I'm not contesting in, and in different area or a different division. Am I possible to do that? Another point is to just highlight whether if we are going to take judges from an area, a member from the same area, should we go for equal opportunity from all the clubs of the same area, please? Thank you. Back to you.
Yeah, Alka, you can answer.
So for the first point, as we did clarify during the workshop, that if you are contesting beyond club level, you should not be a judge in any area, any division, any district. For the second point, yes, even I was thinking of mentioning when DTM Anil Kumar said that point. As per the rule book, in an area, you can have equal number of judges from all the clubs. That is permitted, but it should be equal number. If it's not equal number, you're not able to get a judge from one club, but you are able to get from 3 clubs, then that is unfair. Then you should have all judges not from any club in the area. Hope that answers.
Yeah. DTM Mona, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just have disconnected on the same part. Only the first part. Yeah, the first part. The second part is very clear, but the first part is, again, I will raise here because I know that we used to have a contestant can judge on other contests that he's not contesting. And like I'm contesting in humorous, can I judge on table topic?
Yes, yes. It's in the same category, you can't. But in the other categories, you can.
Yes, this is the only thing that I want to highlight. Thank you so much, DTM Alka. I know that you know the answer just because some people make them get confused. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. I think, any others?
We have DTM Murli, DTM Tabassum, who have this hands.
Yes, this is Murli Manohar. I would like to tell, in case if the ballot counter doesn't know, if the timer knows that there is a disqualification, he can also intervene when the results are announced, saying about some XYZ is been time disqualification if chief judge is not there. So this is one way. So I wanted to add that. And for others, DTM Alka has already clearly said about the number of judges. We cannot have one club not having the judge and having others. You should go for judges from other clubs, totally, not just from 3 out of 4. I hope this information is enough. Thank you.
Okay, one last question. Let's take it from any other.
DTM Priscilla has also raised her hand.
Yeah. One last question. Let's take and move to the next session. Yeah.
My question
DTM Priscilla,
is.
your question.
Yeah, my question is regarding the announcement. What we saw in the contest in action is that the contest chair announced all the winners in the wrong order. But from what we have learned from the training is that once announced, it cannot be taken back. So what is the time frame, or how should we avoid this thing? I mean, is there a way to double check? And I know now Toastmaster DTM Alka said that it is for the chief judge to let the contest chair know. But if, for instance, it happens that the announcement has been made, what is the time frame to take back, if at all? How can we avoid this?
Ideally, I would say when the third place winner is announced, and if that is wrong, immediately the chief judge should intervene. Yeah. However, if he or she waits for all 3 winners to be announced and then intervenes immediately before we have before the contest chair has finished finished her part, that is the time frame. Once the contest chair is finished and everybody is like she's handed over the podium, after that nothing can be done.
Nothing can be done. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, we have DTM Abdul Nabi. Let's make it the last one. Yeah, DTM Abdul Nabi, please unmute yourself. Then let's.
Yes, my dear.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah,
I have only one question that I would like to raise it up. Thanks very much for the team and the dynamic people behind this sessions. You made it very live and easy for every one of us, and we have learned a lot. But the question is, especially when you come to facilitate the problems and how to solve it in just a few seconds or a few minutes. But this actually, when it comes to the contest, throughout my experiences judging and chief judging, most of the chief judge, they don't conduct it. What I've seen that what they do, there is any protest during, they said we have to wait until the contest is finished. But you have been doing it even before the, you announce or whatever. So that's what was something new for me. I came to understand. As this is the right way and path to take action. We have to stop everything and solve the problem. Then, we will continue with our contest, or as many of people that have been doing it, keeping it up until the contest all finish. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Abdul Nabi. I would like to, in fact, clarify one thing here. Suppose there are 4 category contests on that same day. Suppose international, the table topics is first, then it's humorous, then it's evaluation, and then it's international. Any order, suppose these are there. So if there is a protest in the first, suppose table topics, or even if there is no protest, there should be the results should be sealed before the next contest starts. So it's very important that the protest, if any, should be before the first category result is sealed by the chief judge. So the protest should be as and when the contest happens, immediately before the chief judge seals the results. The protest should be sent to contest chair or the chief judge. It should not be left till the end of the contest. Thank you.
Okay. So if you have any other questions, let's take it separately. You can post it onto my window or in the chat. We'll take it later on. Now it's time to move to the next session. I would like to hand over the stage back to the Master of Ceremony, DTM Priscilla.
Thank you, trainers, head of education, for taking those questions and clearing out for us how we should handle, how we should perform our roles as judges and chief judges. With this, I'm sure all of us have learned a lot, and that has happened because we were so involved. Look at the question and answer session. Also enthusiastic to know what would happen if this was the scenario. So all in all, you will agree that this training of how to perform your role as judges and chief judges has been a wonderful training, and we all are going to leave this training learning and with more knowledge on how to perform our roles, with confidence that we can perform the roles of judges and chief judges, which is very vital for any contest. With this, I would now like to hand over to the stage back to our Head of Education, Toastmasters DTM, Anil Kumar Revenkar, to recognize role players at this event. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Once again, a warm good afternoon to you. We say, when something is successful, we cannot take the credit for that success alone. Success happens only when you have a very astute team to play with you, to share your responsibility, and to make sure that the plans, what you have put forward, is executed in a very meticulous way. We have just completed our session 2 of the district-sponsored contest training, wherein we had great personalities from District 20 participating as different role players. So it's time to recognize these role players for their hard work and for the great contribution they had for this event. I would like to request the IT moderator to please display the names of the role players. Okay. IT moderator? Yeah. Master of Ceremony. No words. DTM Priscilla Martin Dias. Please accept this token of appreciation from District 20 Contest Training 2 that was powered by Division E.
Thank
The
you.
next on the list. We had a marketing team led by two great personalities, Toastmaster Vishal Khan and Toastmaster Maimuna, who did a great job behind the scenes. Moving forward, we had the IT moderators. They were behind the scenes playing all around with the different controls they could do on the Zoom, played by Toastmaster Mohammad Suraj and Toastmaster Vishal. Very astute IT moderator. And we had that amazing personality on the stage doing the contextual role by none other than DTM Tabassum Ali. Moving forward, our trainers, the mesmerizing ones, handpicked from District 20, the first training for the judges by Toastmaster Farooq Kadir. Let's give her a round of applause for that wonderful presentation and judging. The second training was conducted by none other than DTM Alka Kumra, another wonderful trainer who did a great job of presenting chief judges' roles and responsibilities. Moving ahead, the Chief Sergeant at Arms for today's event was none other than Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵 𝗔𝗏𝗂𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓. Please accept this a token of appreciation. And along with him, we had another Sergeant at Arms who was very active during our session, Toastmaster Nuha Madhani. The next, the timer role, which is very crucial, was played by Toastmaster Varmit Kaur. Please accept the certificate of appreciation. And with her, we had another partner with her, Toastmaster Asma Abdul. The ballot counting task was handled by none other than Toastmaster DTM Dr. Asha Rani. And with her, the ballot counter number 2, Toastmaster Balamurugan Dhanushkodi. Please accept the certificate of appreciation. And now the speakers. Please move ahead. Yeah, next slide, please. Our speakers for today's contest, Toastmaster Latif Mansur Ali for the international speech. The second contestant, Toastmaster Eliza D'Souza. Please accept the certificate of appreciation. Both of you have done extremely well. The table topic speakers. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Hanan Halush. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Rohaina Akil. Our third contestant, Toastmaster Siham Muhammad. And the last but not the least, Toastmaster Alan Paul, our fourth contestant for table topics. The next slide, please. The head of education. Now that I cannot present, now to do this honors, I would like to invite on the stage the event chair for this program. She is a young lady a very enthusiastic Toastmaster and ever ready to learn and take up challenges in Toastmasters. This is something I like about this young Toastmaster. Always loving, lovely, and lively. Please help me to welcome on the stage the event chair to do the honors. Toastmaster Asma, over to you.
Thank you so much, DTM Anil Kumar. Thank you. If you want to go quickly, go on your own. But if you want to go far, go with others. And there is no better treasure than those who guide you to do the right things in the right way. I feel so blessed that I have this big family. I feel privileged and honored to have been given the opportunity to extend a vote of thanks for this super wonderful family. I would like first of all to express my profound gratitude to the PQD team represented by DTM Muna Al-Uqab and DTM Anil Kumar, our division advisor, for guiding and supporting us in every moment of this event. I would also like to convey my sincere thanks to our amazing and wonderful Division E Director, Toastmaster Maryam Ranjit, and our immediate past Division E Director, Toastmaster 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗀. Thank you so much for the beautiful energy and uniqueness that you brought to this event. Thank you so much, respected District Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, respected Program Equality Director, DTM Muna Al-Uqab, respected Club Growth Director, DTM Yasser Al-Gashar, and all dignitaries for gracing, attending, and supporting this event. We are extremely grateful to every one of you. I must express my deep gratitude to our experienced and dynamic presenters, DTM Alka, Kumra, and Toastmaster Farooq Qadir, for these amazing, valuable, energetic, and very informative workshop. I think everyone here greatly value every one of you. An event of this dimension involving so many tasks requires immense planning, preparation, and publicity. On behalf of the Division E, I would therefore like to commend all parties involved in this event's organization. Huge thank you to our dynamic and phenomenal leaders, Toastmaster Srinivas, Toastmaster Nuhamadini, the lovely. I can't express my words for this personality. Toastmaster Priscilla, you made this event very special and very unique. Thank you so much. DTM Tabassum, you are the smile on every face here in this event. You always brought the smile with you, wherever you are. Thank you so much for making Contest in Action very wonderful. Thank you so much to our timers, Toastmaster Vermeet and Toastmaster Priscilla. Thank you so much for our tally counters, Toastmaster Bala Murugan and DTM Asha. Thank you so much, super, energetic, and dynamic Toastmaster Vishal and Toastmaster Muhammad Shiraz. Thank you so much, amazing moderators. Such event, and big thank you for our contestants. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Hilsa. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hanan Haloush. Thank you so much, DTM Siham. Thank you so much, Ruhaina, DTM Ruhaina Aqil, and thank you so much, DTM Alan Ball. Such event couldn't have been done the same without every one of you. I would like to thank every one of you from the bottom of my heart for giving your time. And I'm so appreciative of everyone who attend and grace our events today. This is your support for us. This is how you empower new leaders to make new leaders. Thank you so much, every one of you. May God bless you all.
Just
and
wait.
with this,
Don't leave, wait.
Yeah,
Don't
with
leave.
this, yeah, and with this, I conclude this event.
Yeah. Division E Director, Toastmaster Mariam. Yeah, I would like to invite you on the stage. Division E Director, Toastmaster Mariam. Please unmute yourself. Moderator, please unmute Division Director, please. Yeah.
Yes, all are unmuted.
Yeah, okay.
The meeting has been adjourned and everyone is free to talk. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you, all my role players. Asma, you did an amazing job. Anil Kumarji, I am just thanking you from the bottom of my heart. Priscilla, Tabassum, you and our trainers, Alka ji and Toastmaster Farooq Khadir, you did an amazing job, and I really feel proud to be with you today. I don't have words to say. I'm a very emotional person. I cry out.
It's okay. Yeah. Can you please award a certificate of appreciation to the event chair?
Moderator.
Yeah. Moderator, please do the needful.
Light call jaldi. Okay. Moderator, can I have the certificate for the event chair?
Yes, I'm just doing that. Please give me some time.
Yeah. Okay. Meantime, you can continue. Division Director says something. By the time the certificate will be ready. Yeah, we have the our PQD. Mona is there. She is very happy. We can see her expression.
I am so happy, actually. Amazing. No words can express what I am feeling now. I feel just a little. How can I express this, Tabassum? You've done an amazing job, actually. Anil, I think he put you in a situation that you've done a great job there. I know you are a champion, and it's difficult for you to do that, but you've done it in a great way. Behind every success, there is a team that is working, and I would like to highlight here the team Anil, Kumar, who was behind this actually amazing job, Anil. And as international director, he said that he just was, emailing the contest the TI, and I've been also the CC there, and not only emailing, even by question and answer in the website. I think that now we become very famous, the team Anil, around the world. And I will not forget also Toastmaster Nuha. She is also a good supporter there, and as contest coordinators, both Anil and Nuha is my team, and I am very proud to have them with me. I'm very lucky actually to have them with me, and I will not forget also the contest the trainer coordinator, DTM Rufus, DTM Hazim, and Toastmaster Muna Zaytoun, plus our always the supportive for the district, and not only District 20, the famous one, Toastmaster Rashid Maymoon. When I say Toastmaster, I feel like he's actually more than Toastmaster, but it's only the the requirements that he is taking his time in taking these requirements, but he's more than DTM actually. Thank you so much. And again, I will say thank you for our trainers, Toastmaster Farooq, and he's coming to DTM very soon. Toastmaster Mariam Ranget again, and Toastmaster 𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓 𝑹𝒐𝒐𝒔𝒆𝒍𝒕. And we'll never forget our division director, Toastmaster Mariam Ranget. Thank you so much. Amazing job, actually. And this been recorded and will be shared in the YouTube. So anyone who would like to go again on these, they can go several times, get benefit. Master of Ceremony, what shall I say? You pronounce my name in the right way, by the way.
Thank you.
By the way, she was asking me for an audio for that. But I did listen for her and say, let her say it as the way that she is comfort with that. I don't mind, but she done it in a good way. Thank you so much. And the certificate is ready now. Yes. Back to you, Toastmaster Mariam. Is yours.
Thank you so very much, PQD, for these encouraging words, and I really appreciate your efforts. And I'm really thankful to you also because you always come to an hand whenever we need it. Thank you so very much. With this, I would like to present the certificate to Asma Al-Anazi, event chair. Thank you, Asma, for doing a wonderful job. And I really appreciate looking forward to your DTM because you already finished your HPL today. Congratulations for that. I request all of you to please give her a round of applause. Thank you so very much. Please accept the certificate of appreciation for an event chair, Toastmaster Asma Al-Anazi. And thank you so very much, everyone. Now you all are free to talk, please. Don't embarrass me. I'm not much of a talker.
I think that our moderator, he's been taking photos from time to time. Can you just stop the recording, please?